Hello people, it's me, Error 404, Jim not found again. I've got a bit of a croak in my throat today, don't know why. If I was a cat I'd have a fur ball. Perhaps I need more gummy bear, that might do it. Anyway, good evening, how's everyone? Jim's not with us, but I have got a little something from him. I nearly said for him, he's already had that, so he can get stuffed, which I will show later. And I haven't got Jim with me, but I did have someone else with me earlier on this week. Wait a minute, it's Monday. Last week. Scratch that. Forget I said this week. Last week. And I've got a couple of little clips on that as well. You're going to be tweeted. So, if I have time after those three, and I dare say I will, but we shall see, I also got one of these. SDK. You can see that one is a particularly thin one. That's a Ninja one. So I pre-opened it. Well, it's a goodie. You've got to pre-open your goodies, haven't you? You know, it's just got to be done. Now I was going to do something on that, but it didn't quite pan out. But I'll explain that later. But for the moment, I think we need to sort of do the intro properly. So, catch you in a minute. Shut up. Silence! I command you. Who got a bin watch? They might think I'm crazy. Right. Yes. So, no Jim. He's at Weatherspoons working on the bar women. Well, sorry, on the pints and stuff. Staff parties. All this night clubbing. It's a terrible time of year for a barman, it really is. And when you're a bar manager, you've got to manage it as well. So it's even worse for him. For us poor mortals have to rely on gummy bear. This particular toke of gummy bear is dedicated to hi-fi, because deep down he's a gummy bear lover. We know this. And I see we have our usual array of nutters in the chat room. Hello people. Right, yeah, so no Jim. But Tim just replaced the T, well, replaced the J with a T. And there you go. Did come down to me last week. And we had a look at a couple of items. He's taken back some re-records, which I dare say he may show you tomorrow. He may not, but he may show you tomorrow. When his show comes on. But I also managed to snaffle this. It's not your everyday Alt-Tight mod, this one. This one is a VV. And you know I do like my VVs. I like my VVs almost as much as I like my tanks. But first off, I think I'm going to say hello to this before I go into a video. Because the reason being is I got this one. This I got from Ben, and it came, and I had to charge up the battery. Now it's quite strange because the 510 charger which I use, USB charger, didn't do anything with this. It just refused to charge it. Whereas the USB one that came with it charged it up in. It does take a while, to be fair, but it charged it up in about 5-6 hours. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have a look at one of these, I might as well have a look at it with the cart supplied. Now I've done an ohmage test on these ones. They come out at 3, so a 3 ohm cart. Now I was going to do how long the battery lasts, because let's be honest, it's not exactly very big, is it? You can see there where one of the other carts it comes with is practically matched. His and hers. So I was going to do a timeout, but I use it as a main vape. I'm not the world's heaviest vapors, and it lasted me from 1:30 till I gave up at about 8:30. I gave up, not it gave up, basically because that ain't raspberry. And before I went to bed, it had to be raspberry, as it does. You know this. Raspberry will one day rule the world. So, I think, for what you actually pay for it, which on this one was £12.49, I've got myself a very, very nice, easily tucked away spare device. Now I say spare because it is quite small, and I wanted something rather than just something in your jacket pocket or the normal sort of ilk which you tend to carry as spares. It would be nice to have something smaller, and along comes the SDK, and that fills it quite nicely. So I didn't get a total amount of time, but what I can tell you is that it was still going strong 16 minutes and 49 seconds into it. And I know this because every time I took a toke, I had a stopwatch on my desktop and I clicked the start, and every time it stopped, I clicked stop. So it doesn't sound an awful lot of time, but if you're taking 5-second draws, and I only take 1 or 2 draws at a time, that's quite impressive, to be fair. That is quite impressive. I'll just get up some details for you, because I wasn't actually going to talk about this now, but I just thought, well, rather than just jump straight in and look at some vids, which we've done, albeit they are good vids, let's have a look at something new and shiny. Now obviously it's not had a longevity test on it. I haven't had it long enough for that, and whether or not I will do one on this I don't know. Jim may have a different one on there. I won't do that because it's not even been put into the show. That's how organised I am today. Although to be fair, as I say, I wasn't actually going to physically look at it. I believe it was a 300 milliamp hour battery. I love the wording on the site. It said auto suck switch. I will remind you at this point, people, my mind, unlike yours, is pure. Okay? So I have nothing else to say on that other than the fact that they could get those installed on other devices, or people would be a lot... well, I'm probably going to die a horrible, messy, sticky death if my wife watches this back, which she does every time when she comes back from Air Cadets. Let's have an advert. Possibly. I know, if I turn that right down, and when I come back in next time, if I forget to hit that, it isn't going to go echoey. And those of you wearing headphones, sorry, my bad. Right, so as I said, El Tim came down, in stark contrast of El Jimmo, and we had a look at a couple of devices. Now one of them we had a look at was, well, this. Hello. Wait. Hello.
Hello.
It's us again. He's still here. Because, like, I showed you in another review, which you may or you may not have seen, depending on which order he plays them, in which case you may get confused, but then you are our viewers, and with me in front of you, you're going to get confused anyway. He lent me a monkey box, which I proceeded to spank live on VTTV, as you do, and a Dubouche card, which we totally failed to get working right. But we have now, you will see, or have seen, whatever. I lent Tim one of these. Do we know what that is? First person who says a mod gets a slap.
Mod.
This was wielded by a god. Evidently, it must have been a very small one. But no toenails were harmed. Although evidently with something like that he probably went after the bunions. Right. This is... How do you pronounce that again?
Mjolnir.
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
What he said. The Hammer of Thor, which I got from Cherry Vapes when it was available. It's not available anymore, people. It was a limited edition. I did say it was a limited edition. If you wanted one, you didn't get one. Okay.
I didn't get one.
Didn't you?
No. That's
Oh.
why I borrowed yours. Gonna give it back now.
Yeah. I'm going to let him have it back for the moment. But I got the actual kit, and it was $70 for the mod, and it was $49, which included the batteries and a nice Canon drip tip there. It's a nice size for dripping, and some atties and stuff like that. They're not available anymore, people. But I thought, as I lent it to Tim, he needs to have a look at it. So, Tim, here you go.
Thank you. See ya. No, the Mjolnir, yes. Now I've had these done by E-Pipe Mods.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah. And I did have one of theirs once, but we won't talk about that one because this one is completely different. It's gorgeous. It's a nice little thing, and yes, but wooden pipe. Same kind of switch as I had on my first pipe, but this one works brilliantly. 18350 battery. Have we put juice in the atty yet? It's dry.
It's dry.
It's dry.
It's dry.
Dry.
Here you go. Ta-dang.
Ooh,
Ding, ding, ding.
thank you.
I'm not the best person to be doing this
That's
because
okay.
I got a shake there, as you can see.
That's okay.
No,
Ooh.
Tim, do you want to take
I'll
that?
do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh well.
Okay. Nectar of the gods.
Got me there.
One more.
Can you read that? And it's a decanted sum and has been confirmed in writing. Why for grown-ups? Confirmed.
Ooh. So, got 306 atomizer on here with a nice Canon drip tip which came with the kit.
Yep.
And it couldn't be simpler. It's just push the button and vape.
Verbal.
Oh,
It is nice, isn't it?
It is. Sorry, I was stuck in gummy bear mode there. But no, it is. It's nice. It's a lovely, simple mod. Very well made. I mean, I like how I'll just take the battery out so we can see. The battery sits in a wire with a wire ring round it, which takes the wire all the way down to the bottom. So you've got the whole circuit, and button completes the circuit. Simple. Oh, I'm making a mess of this. Gummy bear juice and
Don't try this at home. We are professional.
yes,
Ish.
ish.
When we're asleep, evidently. Although the wife would disagree.
On the inhale.
Yes, that's what she disagrees with. Yes.
That's a lovely little thing.
It is. I mean, it's really quite small. When it arrived through the post, I must admit, when I first got it, I thought, okay, because it's not exactly the biggest mod, really. Interesting choice of name, but actually, when you hold it like that, it does actually look like a woodlouse hammer.
Yes.
As wielded by the god of woodlice against woodlice.
It's a Lilliputian gavel.
Order! Order! It is a lovely little device. It's I'm well chuffed with it. And those of you who saw my shows before would always see me with two devices in hand. Shh! Hey, I'll have you in a minute. Just stay calm.
Keep saying that to my missus.
I know. It's good to make them wait.
Indeed.
Now I've tried other drip tips. The one that came with this one, as you can see, is a proper dripping one. Now there's all sorts of drip tips out there for 306s. That one is meant so you can put something like that inside of it, because some of the other ones which you use, you'll tend to get it over the end and stuff like that because of the size of the drop from a dropper bottle. So I actually prefer it on that one. But I think that's really quite nice. And I don't know whether Cherry Vapes, this one came with Cherry Vapes, if I hadn't already said that. I can't remember, did I say that?
I can't remember.
No.
But there's no harm in repeating it.
Cherry Vapes. I had no idea whether they got any more plans to have a word with Matt and maybe get some more out. At the moment though, it's not looking hopeful.
There are similar style ones on the Pipe Mod site.
There are.
Which are, I think, 18650 versions, or they take two 18350s. But obviously they are not as dinky, they're longer.
I know, that's what really makes it. I mean, you know, obviously with the 306 on there, the resistance, the amount you get out of that unit on taste and vapour is really good. And for me, with my dexterity problems, I was a little worried because obviously it's the top, and it is no problem at all. Dave, this is for you. I've never been slapped by a co-presenter before, but I think I will be at the next mini-meet.
I'll take the first slap.
You need a bloody step ladder to get up here. Just wait there, Tim. I'm just going to go and get the step ladder. 2 minutes shredded wheat. 4?
Yeah, 4 shredded wheat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. They said you can't do 3, so I went one better.
Oh dear. Anyway, there you go, people. It's a very quick look of Tim's view and perspective of that.
It's gorgeous, and I want one, and I can't have one, and I'm sad.
You got a monkey box?
I have got my monkey box back.
Yes.
I have got my monkey box. But you can never have enough mods.
No.
Buy more.
Yeah, I agree. You kind of get in that sort of circle. It's like, ooh, what's that? Shiny or stealthy or whatever, and I've got to have it.
Yeah.
I did ask for a mod for Christmas, but I won't repeat the words, but I don't think it was a yes.
Would this be the Diamante?
Yes, it would be, yes. Yes, unless a certain 4-letter word with a 3-letter word following it is sub-English for, of course, darling. I think that was a no.
Ah.
Shame. But anyway, that's been this.
The Mjolnir.
No, lovely people. Look at that. I can
Gorgeous.
tease you all now because I got one.
I don't.
I think Del Boy had one as well. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Ooh.
I think he did. I know someone else on the forum did have it, but I can't think who it was now. But we're the lucky ones. I'll shut up now. Anyway, it's been me, one of the Vapourmists.
And me, Raw Veg.
Boom boom. Saying bye-bye. Almost got it back on the on a loop there. I found my hat because I think it was Del Boy a little further up on the chat, which I'm looking at the moment. Sort of said, "Where's the hat?" Somebody did. I didn't actually make a note. So, yeah. But yeah, that was Tim's view and mine again of the hammer. Not available anymore. There may be sometime in the future though, and maybe for Vapor Trails maybe we might hold some sort of competition for you lot in the new year. Maybe. Right, now then, I have punched up the details of things which I'm throwing on the desk. That it was 300 milliamp hour. It does have an auto suck switch on it. It is a 510 atomizer connection, either as well. I'll put my false teeth back in. So you can actually put quite a bit onto that, to be fair. Now I've tried it on the Carter, as I said, and gave up, but that's tobacco flavour. I might have been better off going for the menthol, but I would have been slaughtered by someone in the chat if I'd have been saying, oh, that's quite a nice menthol. I've even tried it with one of those. It still survives the gym at the moment. It actually kicks out quite a bit, and it's set for 3.7 volts, so it doesn't drop down like some of the devices do down to 3.2 or thereabouts before it does. It tries to hold it to that. Now I'm not going to do an in-depth one on this show. This was just I've got one and I'm going to put it through some paces. It's coming out with me on, where are we, Thursday. Yes, it's coming out with me on Thursday, where I will be using it quite a bit when I'm out and about, although not with one of those on, because even though that's small enough to put in your pocket, I wouldn't want to risk one of those in my pocket, because like I don't want juice in my pocket, and they do leak if they're caught wrong. Responding to the chat there, Delboy says, I think you can get the same type of mod from E-Pipe Mods. Okay. Vaporman, send one to Tim to take apart. Aye, but Tim doesn't just take them apart, does he? He blows them up. All in all, for what you pay on that, and for what I've got a use for it as, which is a spare, I think that's absolutely marvellous. In fact, I may get another one if it keeps performing like it is performing. Holding its charge really good. And the other good thing, of course, is you can't really see it down here. It stands up on a desk. It doesn't fall over. Vaporman says in capitals there, me. Not quite sure what that's relation to. Is there something you wish to share with us? Answers on a postcard, as Dave K would say. And hello, Leon Thompson. Ho ho ho, Mary Shrimble, you lovely. Yes, behave. Actually, no. Corner. Liam, corner. Now, my show. I have corners in my show. They may be round and everybody's in them, but I do have the corners. And the hat thing. Hat? What hat? Where? There's no hat here. There's only hat brought on by lack of raspberry and gummy bear. Anyway, time for another advert. La 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 la, that one. Right, now, I did say I had a few things to go through, and while Tim was here, we had a look at some other stuff as well. So, I reckon I'm going to show you that, and then I'll have a chat after. How's that sound? Sounds good? If I can find it, it'll be absolutely excellent. I can. Here we go. Bye bye for now. See you in a minute. Hello, people.
Hello.
It's half a Vapourmists and half a raw veg.
Oh, I'm all raw veg.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yes.
I'll take your word for that. Right. It's going to be a very quick look at that unit on top, not the one at the bottom. That is not to be confused. The two are totally different, okay? But they both need each other, in this instance, to work. It is, of course, an IATI. I'm going to say this now, but you lot will have no idea about what I speak. You better bloody work. I'm sure you all concur with that one, Tim.
Oh, most definitely.
Yes. There are a couple of outtakes, and they may be shown sometime in the future. Now, it's an IATI, and Tim has very kindly lent this to me. I've had it for about a week now, where I've been using it and trying it, and I am impressed. And those of you who've seen my shows and stuff do know even that I do like my tanks. I've got all sorts of tanks here. There's a pre-prep one, see that, because it's still got the Thunder on the end. And of course, the two tanks with the same two tanks with different names and both the same devices. Never confused. Right.
I certainly am.
Oh, I always am as well. I think it's something to do with the meds. Anyway, Tim said, "Have you tried one of these?" And I hadn't bought one, so obviously the answer was no. So he said, "Would you like to?" And I said, "Oh, okay then." So he wired one for me and sent it down, which at the time was 2.4
Yes.
ohm, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And I have been well impressed with it. It looks nice. It tastes nice, and it produces a nice lot of vapour as well. So I'm actually well impressed. Now, normally I wouldn't have one of these, because obviously I've as you know, my dexterity would not allow me to rebuild it once it went pop, which is not good. However, that may have been cured if I can ever find an IATI for sale, because Tim has kindly said, well, if you need them redoing, just send them up to him, which is very nice of you.
No, that's my pleasure.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
That's what he said earlier as well.
Shh! They'll start talking.
Too late for that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Now, I've had it for a week. Now, what was the cost of these?
They were originally sold, I think it was £69, just shy of 70 quid.
My favourite number. Silence.
I didn't say a word.
No,
I was
didn't have
thinking
to.
it.
Yes. I'm actually quite well impressed. And to be fair, if I could use them, I'm looking in the forums at the moment to see whether I can actually get one or maybe two if they're sort of like a decent price, which I can afford. Because I reckon they go good on a silver mod. There's a slight problem there though, because I have stealthies. Stealthy. Half stealthy, half shiny. But gorgeous. Very confused. And Jazzy's X, rather scratched, well used, lived in silver bullet. So a shiny device is a bit difficult for me. So I'm saying goodbye to this bottom unit. The first time that has been out of my hands since I got it off Throat Hit back in May. Now, I reckon that would look good. Transmogrified into something else. What do you reckon, Tim?
I agree.
You do?
Yes.
Yes. So I think what I'm going to do is hand this back to Tim now, and it is with a heavy heart because I am well impressed with this. And Tim is going to change it slightly on there. But in the meantime, things I found with this: if you're going to fill it, I unscrewed the top because it's got an O-ring in there, and if you don't, and you have to do it because of my dexterity, as you can see, I can probably undo it by using the top to unscrew it. It opens up the top, and any juice which you put in the chamber will go flowing straight into the mouthpiece and flood it, and it ain't going to work, is it, Tim?
No.
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 So that's something for me to bear in mind if I manage to find any more.
In fairness, I should have told you that when I lent it to you. So
That's all right. It's all good fun. I think that's what fun was, with the swear words.
there was some fun in there somewhere. I think.
Yes. Like I say, we may show the outtakes of this. They are saved together with obviously this one, which will be shown. The other things which you'll find, I can't actually undo that, is the threads on these are very fine, very snug, very nice. It's not sort of like 1, 2, 3 tight. On these, line it up properly, and it's a very fine, very smooth, very nice device.
Indeed. Thank you.
You have a tank full of raspberry.
Oh, yumma. Yes, I do like that. And I shall silverify this.
Ooh, it's going to change.
Change.
But that is a very, very quick look, because obviously I can't take it apart. Tim has. Perhaps we should have shown that. Well, you've already shown it, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yes.
I did it in my... Did I take it apart? I can't remember if I did now. But if I did, yeah, I'm sure I did.
I hope you did.
And if not, I will.
You have to check back in your archive.
Indeed. But yes. It's either there or it isn't, and if it isn't, I'll check, and if it's not, I'll do it. It's probably the easiest thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Throat Hits VV for me for the moment is bye-bye. And a very sad bye-bye to the Ayati. I'm well impressed with it, to be fair.
Well, when it's transformed, I'll send the Ayati back down and you can borrow it for a bit longer.
Okay. It's very nice.
Did you notice the pause? Yeah, I do like my Pravari. My Ayati. Because it lives on my Pravari normally.
It's been missing it, hasn't it?
It has.
Yes.
It has.
I feel so guilty to have used it. Honest, I have a halo, you can trust me, you know I'm pure.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the back being repaired.
Yes, Julie's at it with a hammer.
Really? Not the Mjolnir.
Pardon? Have you been drinking again?
No!
Alright then.
Okay.
I shall give that one to you.
Thank you. The Ayati and Throat Hits VV.
Yep.
Well, Andy's Throat Hits VV.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you just show the people the bottom on that, now I have been asked about this on Google Plus and that lot, you will notice that it's non-standard on the bottom. All those are, it's not been modified, it's just the sticky pads you get. And the reason for it, obviously it's quite a thin device, and when you stick it up on the table, with the 2 pins, which are at the bottom there as you can see, they stick out, it will fall over. So those, just raise it enough so that you can actually stand it on your desk, and it stays there unless you knock it, which I do quite often. But it's good in principle.
Yeah, no, that works well. I have one of those. I have a Throat Hit VV myself, and mine doesn't have those.
Ah, you got to put them on. You got an idea now.
I do.
Innovation. I should have patented it.
You did, yeah, indeed.
Anyway, be good. Ish. Don't be like me.
Go on, you want to.
Yes. I think Dale's got a t-shirt for it.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I almost did it again.
Yeah, well, I was doing it as well.
A person sitting not too far from me, i.e. Tim.
Hey, I'm looking at this. Look there.
Lent me one of these. An Ayati. He'd lovingly wound it up to about 2.4.
Yes, 2.4 amps.
So how do you wind it up? Do you tell it like stories and see what its reaction
I
is?
keep telling it I'll give it raspberry and then I don't.
Oh yes, that'll wind it up. But he said, have you tried one of these? And it's as you know, I like my tanks. All sorts of tanks. I got them all over the place, as you can see. Oh look, there's another one by a different name. Never confused. So I was quite interested, but I did say to Tim, there's no way on God's green earth that I would be able to actually physically repair one of these if they went wrong. So Tim said, well, there's no problem. I'll send you one down, pre-wound, so you can have a try at them and see what you think. And you did. You'll be wanting this one back now, won't you?
Please.
Yeah. Is your Babari missing it?
It is. It's lonely.
Ooh, excuse me. That raspberry wants his out. Release me, human. Right. So I've had this for about a week now. And what do I think of it? I think it's very good when you don't flood the coil. Cool, it's got a bit of taste in it. Now, one thing I didn't realise on this was when you refill them, you take the cap off because there's an O-ring on the inside.
That's right.
Yes. And if you don't take the cap off and just use that to unscrew the lid, which is what I was doing because of my finger problems, the juice is going to get on the inside there. So I now know how to use that one. And when this is dry, it produces a stonking amount. And for this to be live now, Tim, it should be going boom! But of course, being live, it's not going to do that. So that means that this particular preview of this from me and Tim is going in the bin. So bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Do I always say hello?
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Quite. You stuck with who?
What?
Yes. I've heard some rumours. Who are we again? What are we doing here? What are you doing here? Why are you watching this? Strange people. Actually, now they're here. Shall we do something?
Oh, I suppose we must, really.
X-rated. Right. Gonna have a quick look at this. This unit here. Not this one. This one. Okay. That's an IATI, which was kindly lent to me by Tim to have a look at, because as you all know, I like my tanks. I have all sorts of tanks. There's one waiting to go in. I've even got those. Oh look, another one by a different name. Right. I've even got some which hasn't been looked at yet in there. Can you see that? Strange, wonderful shapes. I shall get to them at another review, not this one. Now, Tim mentions that I have seen these rebuildable, repairable atomizers.
Both work.
Yeah.
Rebuildable, repairable.
But I haven't actually had one before. And reason being is, as you know, I've got a few problems with my hands and fingers. And I honestly wouldn't be able to redo them, to rewire them. So Tim very kindly offered to do one for me, all virginal and fresh, rolled between the thighs of a young virgin in Thailand, evidently.
It does mean a coil.
Yes. Filthy. And sent me one down, and I've been using this for a week. What do I think of it? I think I'm going to scream. Dim, take that for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Shut up. And I remember to switch off the echo. Yay! I couldn't resist putting in the bloopers on that one. That was... Yes, you can tell now why there was a bit of swearing. Which we edited. We didn't actually film that bit. just as well, I think, really, because it did get a little blue around here. But yes, I have got one more to show you, but I don't think I'm going to have time to actually show you. So, because I know it's a 12 or a 13 minutes, and looking at my time up there, if I did that, we wouldn't have time for a little chat, and that's no good, because we have to have a little chat, don't we? What? Right, okay. Vapourman in the chat there likes the outtakes, that's good. Delboy likes the bloopers, that's good. Vapourman says, are the outtakes going on YouTube, Andy? Possibly. Possibly. I can neither confirm nor deny that the thought may or may not have swum around my brain. If I had a brain. I'm not sure whether I do. I will have to wait for Hi-Fi, Cat and Sab to confirm it. I'm not going to ask Tim, because he's been down here for an afternoon. I know what his answer is going to be immediately. Rusty likes the SDK. I used to have a game on a computer called SDK. I think it was SDK. It's going back a bit. Can't remember which one it was on now. Right. Well, I don't really have time, do I? No, I don't. No. So I can't show the little clip from Tim. MDK from Finger. Thank you, Finger. Yes, it was MDK. I knew it was something like that in my mind is yonks ago. So, what shall I do? Should we have a little talk about that? Tim got this, in all honesty. But Tim, being the gentleman he is, knows that I like VBs. Don't you, Tim? And he said, do you want that, Andy? Of course, I did have him tied up at the time. Seen the size of it. I wouldn't believe me if I was you. But he did very kindly say, would you like it? Or words to that effect, amongst the screaming. And I said, do you know, that would be absolutely excellent. Thank you very much, dear chap. And he said, well, all right then. So I have an Altice box. But as I said earlier, it is not your everyday Altice box. I do not believe I just shut that, because that means I have to open it again. And it is quite difficult for me to open it. There we go. I should have borrowed some of his C4 while I was at it. And what you have here is a little device, which a little chappie called Gary Dibley had, well, sort of made slightly different than your average Altice mod. Sounds like something you put on your backside. Never mind. There's the units. You see that? Now what you have there is a little VV unit. And, as Gary does, it takes two 18350s, which is quite unusual, because usually his come out 14500s. So it's actually quite nice, and it does last quite a long time. It's always nicely housed up. Now, I'm probably going to put packaging on the inside of there, because it does kind of rattle around, and I am slightly worried that the battery connectors which hold the batteries on are going to move, because to be fair, with those batteries in, it is quite a tight fit, I have found. You really do need to sort of line them up and then really push them down. More innuendos in a James Bond film. Right, I haven't found one single atomizer to put on this which has failed yet. Some of you know, with some of the tanks I get, you need the 510 adapters in order for them to work. I haven't actually found that on this. It doesn't matter what I put on it. It just works. And that is very much a bonus. Trying to find stuff to put on it now. Trouble is, before a show I tend to clear off my desk. Otherwise I'd never find anything. I've often said to myself, it's just as well the keyboard's on a shelf underneath, because if it was on the top I'd never get to it. Whoop. CE2, turn it upside down so that it wicks. Really must see what the short ones are like. I've never actually used a short CE2. What are they doing in the chat? I'm not even going to read that lot out. Cat, start sending them to the corner. listen you lot, behave yourself, because if you don't, I'm going to get Hi-Fi to wave his finger at you, okay? Be good. He has got a very scary finger. I would ask Cat too, but as she is a female of the species, she would be horrible. There you go. Hi-Fi's now wagging his finger up at him, the middle one. Oh dear, doesn't take long, does it? And I tried to keep it sane and sensible. Ish. Right. Now I don't know what its lowest setting does, because there's not actually a voltage meter on this. This is just a turn screw, very gently, and adjust to taste. Now when this one was given to me by Tim, I must admit it was lovely, it really was, but just a little bit over what my normal strength is, which is about 4.2 to 5 is my favourite, except when Jim's here, and then it's whatever he can take, or whatever I can get away with saying, oh, let's try this, Jim. I'm sure you've seen our shows. So I think this one's going to come out at the moment to around about 4 to 4.2. Of course, I could have always got my voltmeter on it, but meh, afterthoughts. I wasn't actually going to be doing a proper look at this at the time, or now. I don't even know where to begin on this chat. If you're watching this on the archive or the replay shows, apologies, I'm not going to start reading out half of that lot and what they're up to on there. They're just misbehaving, okay? They're all getting into the festive spirit. They've probably got into it quite deep, about half a barrel full at the moment, and are joyfully giggling away as grown men tend to. Oh dear. Shame is I can't really join in. But yeah, I don't know how many of these he actually made. Tim didn't tell me that. It does actually say on the post which Gary Dibley did, is he had a few boards left over. So whether or not there's any more of these VV Altoids out there, I don't know. What I can tell you is I'm pretty impressed with it. This has taken the place of my throat hit for the moment. Excuse me, I've just got to shut something down which just popped up on my screen, which shouldn't have been there in the first place. There we go. And so I don't know how many more of these there are out there. If you have one, let us know. But this one's taken the place of my throat hit, as I said, which evidently is on its way back to me, changed, and I shall show that in my next show. Point there, people. This is my last show now, or the Vapourmists show, until the 9th of January, because unfortunately our show falls on the 26th and the 2nd. The 26th obviously is Boxing Day, and we're going to have a complete madhouse here. Not that it'll be any different than any normal day. And the 2nd of January, I'm probably not going to be here, because we usually go away for our wedding anniversary, which falls in December the 27th, so we usually go away. What? Hi-Fi stud in the chat there. This sober of which you speak, explain. Bad Seeds replied, a natural state of being, Hi-Fi. You might want to correct the grammar on that one, Bad Seed. A natural state of being Hi-Fi. Are you saying our Hi-Fi is unnatural? He's calling you unnatural there. I'd get him if I was you, Dave. Go on, mate. Sick him. I will still be taking this around with me, I must admit, when my throat hit gets back. I am a little bit concerned though, because obviously it is a tin, and it has got writing on it, and it might get scratched if I keep carrying it around. And I got one of these like bum bag things so I can get in my wallet and stuff easy. So I suspect it might make short work of it. So I think I'll just use it as a excuse me. I might just use it as an alternate, a different device for taking out. But it's well constructed, as you can see. Whoop. Should I hold it up so there you go. Whoa. There's the ingredients which you can vape on it. Obviously strong peppermint is a must. And all the rest of it you just take with a pinch of salt. Hey, it turned around the right way. I'm waiting for some spare batteries for it, and that will be another thing which I'll be looking at on my next show, because I have sourced some really cheap, evidently high drain batteries. For the price of them, I was quite intrigued, to be fair. So I've ordered a lot, and I'm going to be sending one up to our own Hi-Fi to have a look at, and I'm going to be sending one to Raw Veg so he can have a look at them and let us see what we all think of them, because they are really cheap. Now if it's good, then there's a cheap source out there. If it's bad, then we need to warn people to avoid them, but we shall see, open mind, what they are like. Maybe worth the price. I hope they are. That's raspberry in there. Sorry for those of you watching on archive. Hi-Fi just said, what was it? Ah, I lost it. See, menthol bad for you, but that's raspberry, and that's good for you. And one day it will take over the world. Oh yes, do not forget that Keith, the Keith, likes raspberry. Well, he liked the Vermilion River, which he tried. I know you're in denial on that one, Hi-Fi, but don't worry. I won't tell anybody. Your secret is safe. Did I just say that on live TV? It's terrible. So yeah, one from Gary Dibley. And all it cost, if they're still out there, was £25, and that includes the shipping. Which for that, when you think about it, it's a damn good price. Another mod from Gary Dibley. I'm getting quite a collection, aren't I? Right, now, we have got just over 5 minutes left. I have got plenty here, but nothing which I want to get into detail with, because we only have a short amount of time and it wouldn't be fair. So, has everybody got their Christmas shopping? Hey? Del Boy evidently wants a square mod for his backside, because he's been sat on it too long, without trousers, as usual. Bad Seed needed a comma. Yes, that was the grammatical thing up above. The grammar police are here, you know. Bad Seed says no, doing mine tomorrow. Del Boy is laughing, or LMAO. Microsoft just got to get me dad some beers. Priorities, I like that. Rusty says Andy promotes Sunday afternoon vape runs. I wasn't aware there was any on, Rusty, but if there is any on out there, consider it promoted. If you let people know, we may be able to help. Hi-Festa's doing his on Saturday. I don't know whether that's Christmas shopping or his wife. Vaporman's got... Oh, I'll get slack for that one. Vaporman, he's got his dad an SDK. An excellent investment, in my honest opinion. For the size of that, for what it actually does, that's good. That is good. Initial, because it's not an in-depth one, obviously, but that's good. Yeah. Xmas shopping, and yeah, I thought I'd get a slap for that. Sorry, my bad. It's not my fault. I'm pure. It's Cat's influence. What can I say? I'll get a slap off of her now as well. But yeah, hopefully Jim will be with us on the 9th, and we've got a lot of stuff which I haven't been able to cover. We've got something which I may chuck across actually to Tim tomorrow, or maybe Dave and Keith on there. Now keep your eyes on the schedules, people, because I'm not sure what's actually happening at the moment. I know a question was put into staff and we will be sorting that. But as I say, my show, this is the last one until the 9th. I should be sober by then, because Christmas is one time of the year when I say no to the meds and yes to the beer and homemade vodkas and stuff like that. Julie makes some mean hooch. But yeah, and I think we are nearly at an end, which is a shame, because I did really want to show you that thing from Jim, but I'll chuck it across to one of the other presenters if they want to do it. I'm not sure what we're at the moment. I'm just receiving, see, news presenters get it in there, they've got these little things in their ear where they can go, yeah, roger that, and you can go there. We rely on Skype, which is merrily typing away at the moment. 43 more minutes. What? Oh heck. 3 minutes. They're trying to wind me up. They are. So, great show. Have a great Crimbo. Yep. However you celebrate this time of year, people. However you do it. Family Day, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas. However you celebrate this time of year. Myself, the Vapourmists and VTTV hope you have a very, very happy one and a very happy new year from all of us. Okay? Be good. But right now I am actually going to say, because I've got a 1 minute outro, bye bye from me. I shall see you in 2012, next year, the year when we all die evidently. I better vape away some raspberry then, haven't I, because I've got a lot. And I shall see you then. But for me, for now, bye.